Hey everyone, this is Wizard, and welcome to the Scrolls Lab. So, this is my new dedicated Scrolls channel, and so I thought I'd kick it off with a beginner's guide to Scrolls. Um, so, if you're new to Scrolls or considering buying it, then if you just bought Scrolls or considering buying it, then you may be a bit lost. So, I know I have already done uh, um, I have already done essentially a beginner's guide to Scrolls with Jason, where I basically explain Scrolls to him. But I thought I'd do a more a more proper one, and also adding in the new features of Scrolls, including spectating matches and decay and stuff. Anyway, right. So this is Scrolls. This is the main splash screen that you'll see whenever you log in. However, the first time you log into Scrolls, you will see a screen where you are asked to choose a pre-constructed deck. You will have 4 to choose from: growth, energy, order, and decay. So, you'll have to pick one, and then you get that for free, and that will be the deck you use to start off the game. So, growth. There's 4 resources in Scrolls: growth, energy, order, and decay. And they each have kind of like a different feel to it, and they all have various strong and various weak Scrolls. And if you combine, you can use them on their own or with like 2 or even all of them together, although that's not very good. But yeah, so you can, but you'll get 50. 50 is the minimum for a deck, and most people just stick to that number. A deck is a selection of Scrolls, and you'll use those Scrolls. So here's my energy pre-constructed deck. You'll use these Scrolls in battle. So if I go to the arena and play a quick match, then I can pick which deck I want to use, and so only those Scrolls will show up during the game. So yeah, growth is kind of natural. So there's lots of animals. Wolves are strong, and there's also kinfolk, which are the kind of humans of growth. And yeah, and there's energy, which is like strong, powerful stuff. They're like, so it's like it. So there's lots of stuff like the stuff that blows stuff up, basically. I mean, you've got Inferno Bars, Hellspit and Mortar, the automatons, and Useless Contraption, my favourite if you've been watching the Scrolls Lab series. Burn, Iron Ogre. Yep. Iron Ogre comes in the pre-constructed now. My Iron Ogre didn't come in the pre-constructed. I'm pretty sure it didn't. Tick Bomb, and there's also the Gravelocks, which are Gravelocks. As for humans, they're mostly kind of robots. There's a couple of things that have like massive guns and stuff. Yeah, scattergun. So yeah, moving on. Order. Order is like a typical medieval army. So it's all knights and metal armor and stuff, and so it's mostly humans. I can't think of any ones that aren't humans. They don't have like weird creatures and stuff. Yeah, they feel like an army, but you've got them all together. And finally, decay, which is the newest one. The first 3 there was originally just the 3: growth, energy, and order. but they recently added decay, which you'll know about if you've been following scrolls. There's a capsule there, which shouldn't be there. And decay. Well, the story is that they live in the marshes of Ulma, and they can't live long there. They just get kind of poisoned and then they die. So what they do is they are kind of they have magic and stuff, so they can reincarnate themselves. Sort of. Well, no, it's more kind of undead type thing. So there's like strange monsters and stuff. And then there's harvesters. There's also infected grave rocks, which is useful for the energy decay deck I currently have. No, I did use. Now I'm now working on growth decay deck. And there's all sorts of things that benefit from death, essentially. These are 2 pre-constructed you can buy in the store. Don't worry if you don't choose the right pre-constructed. I warn you, energy is quite weak, especially for new players. I'd probably recommend order, growth, or decay. That's everything except energy, isn't it? Okay. But don't worry, you can always buy the other pre-constructed decks in the store, so it's not that bad. There's also in the store now there's Machine Doom, which is an energy decay deck, and Tiny Feet, which is a growth and order deck. I'm not going to go into detail about those. Right, so once you've picked your pre-constructed deck, hey Minky. He is the biggest Scrolls YouTuber. Let's also Cubestion. He's also a Scrolls YouTuber. No, he's a Scrolls guy. Scrolls guy, I don't know if he's a YouTuber. Anyway, so you'll probably want to get into a match, so hit arena. What's my friend the Mojang thing doing? Yeah, hit the arena button at the top, and you can pick from these 6 options. You'll probably be guided towards tutorial, and I recommend playing that if it is your first time. I think you use a growth deck. So yeah, use that. Then there's quick match, which is just a quick match against the AI, easy, medium, or hard. And then there are trials, which is the closest thing there is to a single player campaign. A proper single player campaign is on the way. But basically, these are a series of challenges which you can play, and you get nice rewards. Yeah. And so you can you battle against them and get rewards, but they've got like, predictably, it's like kind of missions in other games. There are like strange things that they're like different rules. So like your opponent's either start with 5 health, and you get 2 eternal statues. So yeah, there's also multiplayer mode, quick match, which is just a quick match against anyone who also wants to play a quick match, ranked match, which will affect your rating. Whether if you win, goes up, lose, goes down. And judgment. Judgment. I suggest watching another guide about judgment, because that's a bit advanced if this is just a beginner's guide. So yeah. Right, so you go into a match, and I guess I'll do the tutorial. Right, so there's this guy, robot tutorial. Oh, and he says stuff. So yeah, you need to get resources. So the first thing you'll do in any match is sacrifice for resources. So here I sacrifice for both. Yeah, hit control and you get info, which is very useful. So I now have 1 growth resource. Right, so now I can I have this ragged wolf here, and he costs 1 growth, as you can see here. That's the symbol for growth. Each resource, they're kind of factions, has their own symbol. So I'll place my ragged wolf down here and click the wolf. So yeah, the first number is attack. So that's how much damage it will deal to other units on the opponent's side, or to idols. Now, as you probably saw, there are 5 idols on either side of the board, each with 10 health. To win the game, you have to destroy 3 of your opponent's idols. And this is my side here, where I've placed the ragged wolf, and that's the opponent's side. You can't place on the opponent's side, and your opponent can't place on your side. So the middle number is countdown, so that's how many turns it will take before it will attack. Now, Ragged Wolf has haste, which is an ability, which means that it will attack the go you place it, if that makes sense. So it will attack now, but after that it will take 2 turns before it will attack. And finally, health. So that's how much damage it will take before it is. I just read that. Yeah, so, well, it's quite obvious. So attack will deal damage to health, and you'll lose health, and if you lose all your health, it's dead. So there. Yeah, when you click it, you can also move it, as you can see the arrows here. Okay, so this button ends your turn and switches to the opponent's turn, and all units will attack at the end of your turn. Right, so he's summoned a structure. Ragged Wolf is a creature. There are also spells and enchantments. The main difference between creatures and structures is that structures can't move, but creatures can. And well, they normally can't move, you can get stuff to make them move. But they're also, like, because they're structures, they're going to be different. They're often just walls, like this using contraption, or they do different things, like have a special ability. Usually they don't attack, but there are some spells that do. Also, if you've been wondering, you can chat by hitting enter. So yeah. Let's just explain. Right, so enchantments, you can place them on a unit, which will make them better or worse or whatever. And those will have an effect that's applied to the unit. Spells do, yeah, they do lots of things. They can also be placed on the unit, but generally the difference is that enchantments are just on a specific unit and will do a certain thing over time until, like, normally until the unit dies, or for a specific number of turns, but spells are normally instant, so there isn't one, but you could have a spell that just kills everything on the board, and that would be instant, but you could have an enchantment that poisons every... there isn't one, but you can have an enchantment that poisons everything on the board. No, you could have an enchantment that poisons something for a certain amount of time. Whatever. Right. Yep. Right, so now we're just playing the proper game. So I've got these 5 skulls here. 5 skulls is your hand at the start of the game. So I will sacrifice something for growth. There we go. You can only sacrifice once per turn, and you can sacrifice for growth, or you can sacrifice for skulls. And sacrificing for skulls will get rid of the scroll, but will give you 2 more skulls. So I'm going to use Druidic Power on that, which is an enchantment that gives it +1 attack and +3 health, but it means it can't move anymore. And there's where the enchantment is listed. And then it's going to be your turn. I'll just do a bit of this and then I'll show you the other features. The Gravelock Raider, Relentless, part of Energy. Relentless means if if it kills a unit, then it will keep attacking until it's used up all of its attack value. I will sacrifice this for this. Put champion ring on that, so that will one hit that. And it's good to protect your middle row, because super buff. Because if you lose your middle idol, then you'll have to split into two sides. So defend your middle row and try and destroy your opponent's middle row. Defend your middle idol with all your might. Well, make sure you protect the other edges as well, and try and destroy your opponent's middle idol. And that will lead you on the way to victory, my friend. Why not? Super buff. Yeah, all it needs now is relentless. Ooh, a machine piece. Yeah, there's one of the few human creatures in energy. Kinfolk brave. How handy. And yeah, so often creatures and structures will have a little ability often when it comes into play. So here, the Sister of the Fox, when it comes into play, you draw a skull. That's it. There we go. So I think that's enough of this match. So I can just surrender if you ever feel like not playing a match. There we go, and it will blow up everything. Right, so once you've played a couple of matches and got some gold, there we go, gold, you can buy some stuff in the store. You can buy a random skull from a random faction, just completely random. You can buy a skull pack of 10 skulls for 1,000 gold. You'll notice that you could just buy 10 random skulls, but the difference with this is you're guaranteed to get 2 uncommon skulls and 1 rare skull, at least. Now there are 3 types of skulls. There's common, uncommon, and rare. They're self-explanatory. And then you can buy just a particular skull from, you can just buy a skull from a particular faction if you are working on that. For 200 gold, it used to be 170, but they changed it. Anyway, just for you, these are just for you, and they're updated every 3 days. And yeah, so 100. And then you can buy some avatars if you feel like that. So yeah, you can also get shards, which is basically like in-app purchases. They're microtransactions, but thankfully they're nice and out of the way. They're completely optional. They're basically just if you want to accelerate a bit faster. You can buy 600 shards, 1,350 shards, and 2,900 shards, depending on how much you're willing to pay. The game costs £13. So yeah. Moving on, you can also sell your stuff at the store, but that is not recommended because trading. Want to sell some stuff. Yeah. Now trading is useful. You can say WTS, want to sell, WTB, want to buy, WTT is also sometimes used, which means want to trade. And you can trade with, you can trade skulls or gold. Most people usually use gold. And there are various websites where you can check the current trading price for skulls, and people will give you much better prices than in the stores. So if you want to get rid of your scrolls, then that is where you should go. So I'm just explaining to him. Right, so yeah, once you've got a few scrolls, then head to the deck builder and you'll find your pre-constructed deck. But if you just hit clear table, then you can make a new deck, just drag out some stuff, and it needs at least 50 scrolls, and you can have up to 3 of each scroll. And then once you want to, just hit save and call it high. That's illegal because it only has 12 scrolls. Just get rid of it. But yeah, and then you can make powerful decks to battle with. Crafting, still a little pointless in my eyes. You can see this in my update video I took. Actually, I'm always complaining about miasmas because I always find I have too many of them. So, now I have a level 2 miasma, tier 2 miasma. So yeah, if you put 3 scrolls in of the same type, or sacrifice 2 of them and upgrade another one, you can get tier 2 and tier 3. They basically add some cool shine to it and give it stats, which will record from the upgrade. Settings, well, duh. Profile, there is me, how fine I am. There's some stats. Yeah, they got rid of the one about how many times you've surrendered. I wasn't worried about that. I am ranked 35,961st in the entire total score, so that's not that bad. It's probably like 50,000 pairs. 100 scrolls exactly. And there's stuff. Yeah. And I have 198 gold. Hold on. You can edit your avatar, so if you want a different head, then you can just flick through. But I like the one I have, so yeah. Also on the main page, you can view the top rated players. There we go. And you can chat, which is pretty self-explanatory. You can join a room, you can have general trading decks or strategy. Yeah, so general and trading are most used. General is just general chat, obviously. And yeah, finally you can also now spectate games. So if I just hit watch live games, then I can watch games that people are playing. So I can just click here, and there is a delay, so because you can see both hands, so you can't just whoa. I'm wondering who's winning. Could it be Dartha? Yeah, college not quite appropriate. Yeah. Just leave. You can press S like you can in Minecraft. So yeah, that's about it really for the scrolls. You'll pick it up as you go along. That's the defense list, that's your notifications. But yeah, you'll pick it up as you go along. You can also check out scrollsguide.com and some other sites. Head to scrolls.com/community. Yeah, so scrolls.com/community. and it has various useful sites, basically how the Minecraft site does. You've got Scrolls Guide, which is a dedicated Scrolls forum, which also includes a wiki and a pricing guide now, and judgment and stuff. And also you can also download the Scrolls mod loader, aka Summoner. I'll just do this. There's also stuff like home duh, they see me scrolling. Ew dear. So in this clash. The wiki, scrolls on Reddit, scrolls on Facebook, French and Russian scroll sites, scrolls on Steam, despite the fact that you can't buy it on Steam, scrolls RSC channels, and scrolls videos. I'm not on there yet, but hopefully I will too. But yeah, check out Benji. Anyway, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to this new channel. Make sure you subscribe to the Skulls Lab and subscribe to Wizard Zero, my main channel, join the Cleveland Alliance, unless Skulls is the only thing which interests you, in which case just subscribe to this one. Which is where all my Skulls videos will be now. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope this was informative. If you have any questions about Skulls, leave it in the comments, and I will reply to you. But remember, check out those sites I listed. And so yeah, bye bye.